Open-world games are regarded as the most popular and best-selling titles of the day, and the popularity of this genre does not seem to be declining in the near future. 2022 can be considered an amazing year for fans of the open-world games. This year's Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West games, alongside other titles Ghostwire Tokyo and Dying Light 2 Stay Human, were met with considerable critics' welcome or huge commercial success. Of course, there are still plenty of open-world games to offer this year, one of which is the studio's volition of Saints Row Reboot. The Saints Row collection can be considered one of the best collections in the open world. So far, 4 versions have been released for the series, and Saints Row continues to have countless enthusiastic fans around the world. So, it's not surprising that a large number of fans are eagerly awaiting the release date of the new version. Regardless of all the criticism of the game, there are more than a few different factors that can lead to Saints Row's reboot becoming a big game, a game none of us anticipated. The biggest reason can be the fact that we are facing a rebooted version. In fact, if we were to face a sequel, Volition's studio would inevitably have to memorize some elements that would definitely be labeled repetitive. Also, maintaining or even not preserving fictional elements related to the characters attracted a lot of critics. But now, and as the Saints Row open a whole new chapter in this series, there is a platform for attracting a larger stratum of gamers to the game, and there will be no obstacles. In the context of narrative and fiction, Saints Row's reboot revolves around an alliance from 3 roommates. These people, who somehow form the Saints Row gang, plan to pay off their student debts by doing activities. One of these characters, Nina, has a deep understanding of mechanics and technology as a history and art student. The other character in the game, Kevin, has a brilliant track record of hosting glamorous parties, and ultimately, Eli is an MBA graduate as the bandleader. It seems that all 3 members of this group have distinct backgrounds, and it is important to see what formula Volition Studio will use in relation to their characterization. Today, the open-world game is either welcomed or severely squashed under the heavy burden of critics. Therefore, Volition Studios has a difficult task in designing the world of this game. The imaginary city of Santo Ileso is the host city of the game, thanks to its many gangs of criminals, can be a carrier of numerous incidents at any moment. Given what we've seen in the trailers and preview images of the game, the world of the game seems to be full of different characters and activities. Also, Volition Studios announced that the game will host the largest city in the Saints Row series. The city of Santo Ileso, like the city where the first game of the Saints Row series was played. The living quarters of 3 large gangs. The first gang is called Los Panteros, whose members usually solve their problems with fierce clashes and horrific explosions. The second gang, Marshall, is somehow called a mercenary, and in general, it is called a private army. Finally, the third gang is called the Idols, whose members are trying to take over the city's streets by gaining fame. But the game's 3 main characters are tasked with carrying out missions that will eventually lead to them becoming the city's largest gang. The core of the gameplay continues to revolve around the transition from point A to B also. This process is done by participating in main and sub-missions and other activities in the game. Although the mechanics of the game don't look complicated, we seem to be faced with simple but satisfying and entertaining mechanics. Also, the variety of weapons and their customization can be dubbed one of the strengths of the game. On the other hand, the diversity of enemies also makes you sometimes think about picking different strategies in the game. Fighting vehicles is also an important part of the game's gameplay, and gamers can attack enemies using their vehicles. These vehicles all have wellness tapes, indicating that Volition Studios has a special focus on it. In addition, cars can be used as trenches and cover-up mechanics are applicable to them. Vehicles in the game Saints Row have a wide variety, ranging from small, fast cars to bicycles, helicopters and hoverboards. Also, all of these vehicles will be customizable, and according to Volition Studios, the game will host the best driving mechanics in the entire Saints Row series. Finally, the game's full support for the co-op mode led a huge group of gamers to experience it with their friends. According to Volition Studios, the game can be experienced in a co-op with at least one other gamer and roam freely on many streets, alleys and highways in Santo Ileso. However, when starting a mission, your friends will be automatically transported to the prescribed location. And carrying out missions in groups will also give special rewards to team members. In addition, all missions performed in single-player or co-op are stored separately in each gamer's profile and can be played in another mode. Finally, it seems that Saints Row's reboot could mark a glorious comeback for the series. The story of the game has a special charm and takes a new path. Also, gameplay is also surrounded by mechanics, big city and various enemies and guns. In sum, If Volition Studios can successfully accomplish the final phase of its mission of designing deep and entertaining missions, it can be claimed that fans of the series will finally succeed in achieving their long-standing dream of experiencing a unique and engaging game from the Saints Row series. Saints Row will be released on August 23, 2022 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S and PC.